Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Let's start the show. We're here in Sunday Manga. We're here to talk about My Hero, Kaiju no.8, and Black Clover. Yes, we promised last week that we're going to do a JJK, but life happens. We didn't get to it. But definitely next week. But let's have a good time. Ray's not here. He's the waifu sniper, but he got shot. That's why he's in here. He gone. So let's have a good time. Let's talk about it. James, don't nod your head. Shit happens. But he'll be reborn with the Yu-Gi-Oh card. Yes, Sam, he got quick scoped. But let's go. Let's transition. Welcome, anime Lily fans. How you guys doing? LegendDVash here as always. Down below is JBXclusive from Careful with Spoilers, and down below, and right here on my left side is SamTheMangaMan. And we're here to talk about Shonen Ronin episode 6 of the 3 chapters that we say Kaiju no.8, My Hero, and Black Clover. As last as always. Hey, how do we all feel today of these Shonen chapters overall?
Feels
I'm
good.
satisfied, but I want more.
Yeah, same with Sam. Like I'm satisfied with what we got, but it's like at the end of each chapter is like, well, and now I need more. It's like this was perfectly fine, but now I need more.
Like, not to be like spoiled and everything kind of thing, but more please. like,
That's
give
a
us the
little.
whole Oliver Twist kind of situation where like, yo, please, sir, can I have some more?
Please, sir, can I have some more?
That's very true. And it sucks because I know what would happen with JJK, with the most two recent pages that were not unfinished and everything. But like, these mangakas work so hard and everything, and it's a weekly basis. And with what the series gives us and what the best they can do, we just have to, have patience. It's a weekly basis, and it's something that we just have to wait for next week chapter. It feels very far though, in June. It's crazy how we're in the 6th month of the year already, which is like, damn, that's wild. So like, it's exciting.
Yeah, time
to
is
see.
flying, man.
Not lie, it's flying much better than 2020. That's for sure. 2021 is doing so much better than 2020 for me. So it's flying way much faster.
I mean, a lot of people would agree with you, of course.
Oh, definitely for sure.
And
But what I was gonna say, without further ado, let's get jump to our reviews, and we're starting off with Kaiju no.8, chapter 35, and we're here to talk about damn, the title chapter does not say it, but we're here to do chapter 35 of Kaiju no.8.
there's no title there's no chapters for Kaiju no.8. They go by episodes.
Oh, they do.
So like this is like within the same episode. Yeah.
I totally missed that. Totally forgot about that. So, for those that want to see our Kaiju no.8 review, right here is the segment. Time codes will be down below for the description. Like, comment, subscribe, and for the My Hero and Black Clover time code will be down below as well for the chapters in the video as well. So let's get to it. How did we all feel about this Kaiju no.8? Because I know Sam would like to say he was right about something else, right? Right, Sam?
I mean, I've been right 3 weeks in a row. I mean, I'm on a hot streak right now, baby.
That is definitely true.
Yeah. It wasn't for so
this
my guesses,
meeting is being recorded.
my guesses wasn't exactly
I forgot to press record,
horrible.
guys.
Like,
Just
it was
ignore that.
it was easy prediction. Yeah, I know. I was like, wait, you forgot to press record, but all right, whatever. So my guesses are just more of common sense. Like, you're gonna have to expect, like, all right, since you have this, you're gonna have to expect this, and then you have to expect this. It's more like each step we've seen this before, but if I'm able to predict this, the problem is it could get boring. I'm not bored though. I'm actually entertained of what's going on with Kaiju no.8. I want to see this, and we've talked about this with Ray. It's like we've got that standard, typical kind of kaiju story where why is the father hates kaiju's? What's the reason why? Like, I'm doing what I'm doing. I have all this. Like, I'm disciplining my daughter this way. Because this kaiju's killed my wife. Now I want to kill this human guy that's not human. That he has the power to die kaiju and that sort of situation. Because I have this anger towards all kaijus in this situation. James, your thoughts? Since we weren't able to join us in the Kaiju no.8 review last week, what are your thoughts from like the past 2 chapters, actually?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't surprised. We talked about this a few different times, and Shinomiya, she mentioned a couple times that pretty much all of the other like dai kaijus, they would experiment on them, make them weapons, and find like they also make suits out of them and stuff like that. So I wasn't surprised at all to see the general in that suit, and to see all of the weapons that he was using against Kafka in this latest chapter. So I wasn't too surprised about that. His motivations are pretty simple. You know what I mean? Everyone in this world has been affected by kaijus in some way, and the general was just in a position where he was able to do something about it. I feel like a lot of these soldiers became a soldier so that they can fight against kaijus, because kaijus has taken a lot from their lives, has taken families, friends, and stuff like that. So that's what we're seeing from the general. A dai kaiju killed his wife, and he just sees all kaiju as something that needs to be destroyed. But the thing for me in this chapter is I'm trying to figure out where his head's at, right? I'm trying to figure out if he's really just one-sided into thinking that I just have to destroy this guy because he's a kaiju, and because he's a human, like a human kaiju hybrid, he can infiltrate and we don't know what he's capable of, or he's testing him to see how strong he is and testing for himself to see if he can trust Kafka to keep him as an asset to fight against other humanoid kaijus. So I'm hoping it's not so basic that it's just, oh, I just hate all kaijus and they just all need to be destroyed. If he's the general, I'm hoping that he's the type of character that thinks on multiple different fronts, and he's fighting Kafka right now to figure out how strong he is and to see what kind of man he is and if he can trust him. So I just need more of this.
For me, I would say that I love the double spread in chat on page 405. The way he's like ready to use that whole type of armor. Love it. Beautiful double spread to actually see that.
Gauntlets.
Those gauntlets were amazing. And to find
It
out
really reminds me of the Attack on Titan, the Thunder Spears in a way that served both sides.
Oh yeah, so yeah, I do agree.
I thought of that instantly when I saw it.
I do agree that because it's much shorter instead of just Thunder Spears, much longer narrative. So I do agree with that. It's great to see that this man is literally OP as fuck, and Kafka is being pushed back, and it's showing that he continues losing. Well, he's being pushed back because he doesn't want to use his kaiju form. So that's what I mean. Like he's being pushed
all he's
back.
doing is dodging, and
yeah. Well, he's the best he could do to dodging
because kaiju abilities.
Because he just lost in 2 legs and an arm. So I'm curious to know how next week chapter is gonna hit for June 3rd, because like he kept telling us that he got to dodge because he continues being pushed back. But now with him having lost an arm and 2 legs, I'm curious to know, like, it's gonna regenerate? Is it gonna return to a full kaiju? Or are we gonna see?
I know he did before. Yeah, it did before.
But like, more
from
like
last chapter.
Are we gonna
actually,
see
no, this chapter he lost the.
But I'm saying, like, are we gonna see a new form of him? Like, since like the scales and everything of his body got ripped apart, are we gonna see like a new form of his? Or do you think it's too soon?
I think it's way too soon to get a new form. He'll get a new form when he faces up against a villain. I don't think that'll happen against the general. What I do think is that he'll definitely turn into his kaiju form. And what I just thought of, another option that I'm hoping for, is that the general realizes that he can't beat him, and he just stops and realizes that, maybe we should just use this dude as an asset, because he's just way stronger, and it's better to use him as an asset than to even try to kill him, because we need him. So that's what I'm hoping for. I hope he transforms, because we know that Kafka can beat a Daikaiju with like one punch. So the general does not stand a chance. I don't care what anyone says. But he's just holding back right now.
It's more like he can't like kill the general while even though this armored form. But we know what he was doing with the vice captain. Like he knows he probably could kill him, but he doesn't want to kill him. So what's the next best thing? Break his weapons. So this time Kafka needs to break gauntlet arms from the second Daikaiju that ever came into the history in 1972. Like we literally have a little bit of the background of the second Daikaiju, and this was what I was called correct. Like we're gonna have to figure out what happened to number 1 through 7. So this is number 2 within the list, and like number 2, of course, he had a real mind of its own. Like he had a pride. He said he has a strong sense of pride, and he doesn't stop until he's like get what he wants in his dying breath. And I think that's how they figure out there are certain Daikaijus that has like their own brain, like a huge sense of like a self and consciousness is what I'm getting from their experiments and tests. And now, like, of course, if they can't figure out if Kafka can join their side or anything, they just would rather make him into a weapon, make him literally like a full-on suit. if they can make this a giant Godzilla like kaiju into the commander's general's entire battle suit, of course they're gonna like literally like, hey, you're dead. They're just gonna take your suit, make it our suit. You know the drill, the whole entire format and stuff like that.
But
definitely, it's gonna be a good fight.
I was gonna add to what you were saying, Sam. I'm curious to know how the other suits and the other weapons. Like, I'm curious to know, like, if they made a helicopter or if they made like something that's maybe mobile from a kaiju. Cause like it's cool to see these weapons, but imagine if they use type of car armor or something like a helicopter as weapons on it, or as some type of mobile gear for those kaiju. Cause that'd be very smart. Like, imagine a cannon or a tank made from a kaiju. Like, that'd be really smart to use. Cause we all have seen weapons from these um soldiers, but we haven't seen anything that's mobile or anything like that. So I'm really hoping to see something in that realm, because that'll be very cool. Like, action figures in the future they could sell as well. So I'm hoping to see that on my end. Because how does that sound, James? Because it seemed like James was liking the idea.
Yeah, I love it. When you were talking about it, my only question is like, why haven't you used it already? But
Right.
a tank would be a great idea. Can you imagine a tank made out of a daikaiju's body? It would be almost impenetrable. The type of rounds that they can use for a tank made out of a daikaiju, I think that'll be really, really cool. A helicopter, that would be interesting, right? So all of the examples that you gave, I'm like, that would be kind of interesting to see like how they can apply like dissecting these kaijus and turning them into like vehicles and not just weapons, because you also need like shields and stuff, right? You need shields, you need other things to protect yourself. Yeah, bullets, different type of rounds, like so this story has a lot of places where it can go. So it really just all depends.
Besides a Mega Godzilla, let's be more interesting. Let's start with the basics and simples before we go into a full on Mecha Daikaiju Godzilla kind of thing. Because like looking at number 2, you see that tail. I'm thinking like, you know how Mighty Morphin Power Ranger, the Dragon Sword, and that drill tail kind of thing. I mean, that thing could be a whole like full on mace tail kind of thing. I mean, if you ask me. Or,
yeah, why not? There's a lot of possibilities. Why not?
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like, it'll be interesting to see what they'll do. I felt the way James said in the earlier of the review is like, I wanted more of this, but we got a good amount enough to actually see the small snippets that they're teasing. I just want more and craving more. So I'm excited and hope to continue seeing them evolving itself. So overall, this was a good chapter. Can't wait to see for the 5th chapter in a row. Like Sam mentioned in our group chat that they took a 3-week break, so we might get 5th and the 6th, or after the 5th chapter on June 3rd, they might take a week break. So I'm excited to see, because if they do get a break after this, we might be leave off with a cliffhanger. So I'm really curious to see where we go and leave off with June 3rd. So do you guys have any last final thoughts, and what's your theories?
Yeah, I am loving that we're getting to see more of Kafka using his kaiju abilities in human form. These are more of the things that I wanted to see. I just want to see what else he'll be able to do. We know that he can regenerate in human form. He can access some of his strength. He has his instincts. He can use some of his speed as well. So I just want to see the further evolution of how he's able to use his powers in human form. Like we were talking about the last time, I think it was like episode 4. I'm hoping that in human form, he can use at least like 50% of his kaiju powers in human form. And then anything above 50%, he has to fully transform to access that power. So that's what I'm hoping. If it doesn't happen, you know, I don't care, but that's something that I think would be really cool.
Sam?
I mean, I think I've said this theory in like last episode or the one before that. They're gonna have to not fully accept Kafka into their group, but they're gonna put him into like a Suicide Squad group, and that's the whole reason why this new squad platoon that's out there, they're like the frontline people. Even though they're strong, they are very skillful and they are very full talented group of people. They're gonna like throw them into a Suicide Squad missions, mainly because of Kafka, because they can't fully trust if he can be a fully trusted human society to help fight against the kaijus, let alone to like be like in the back line or be their like last resort weapon. They rather use them as the first resort weapon in case like any situations that were to happen.
All right,
Yeah,
that's
I'm,
good.
I'm also hoping that the vice captain Shinomiya and a couple of the other crew from Team 3, they make a case for why Kafka is useful. Because he is. Like, we know they're
Hell
not
yeah.
gonna get rid of him because then there wouldn't be a story. But I can't wait to see how it all plays out. But I think the vice captain and the captain will be key into proving to the general that Kafka can be beyond useful to the team. And because there's other humanoid kaijus, they can also use him to figure out the extent of their abilities, to realize how they think. Also, Kafka's knowledge of kaijus and their physiology, he is a huge asset to the team. So this is why I'm also hoping that the general isn't just so one note, like I said before, right?
Of course,
I'm
definitely.
really hoping that he just wants to see what this guy is about, and he's just pushing him to the limits to see if he would attack another human being. That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping the general isn't just this like one note, like one thought dickhead, but we'll see how it goes.
Definitely, for sure. So that is our Kaiju number 8, chapter 35 review. So now let's get into our My Hero Academia chapter 314. And as always, we start with James and Ray. What do you guys think? But since Ray's not here, he got the waifu sniped by Lady Nagant. So it makes total sense. So Ray, James, since you did not get sniped, what did you think of this chapter?
I thought this chapter was good, left me wanting like a lot more, right? This chapter to me told me a lot of things that we already knew, but to hear these things from someone that was a part of the Hero Association gives it a whole new meaning, in my opinion. Like we talked about a million times before, the Hero Society, the way that it is now, is wrong. It needed to be broken down and rebuilt from the ground up, which is why All for One isn't completely wrong. It's just the way that he's doing it is wrong. The Hero Society is all bad, and we see all of this through Nagant, right? When we get all of those flashbacks. The health, what was the organization called again? The Safety Commission.
The
The
Public
Safety Commission literally, yeah, the Safety Commission literally hired her to murder villains and heroes to keep the public from knowing certain things. That's wrong. This is what the government does to us right now, and it's wrong. Everything that, not to go off on a tangent, but everything with like Snowden, everything that Snowden revealed about what the government is doing, it's all wrong, and that kind of stuff needs to be exposed. Nagant is doing it the wrong way, but all of this stuff needs to be exposed. Like if you have heroes that are doing bad things and working with villains, they need to be incarcerated, not murdered. So it was very interesting to see the perspective of the person that had to commit these murders on behalf of heroes. That's not what heroes do. Heroes are not supposed to be judge, jury, and executioner. And that's what they're doing, which is why she killed the president. This is not how things are supposed to be. And the establishment needs to be broken down. Like she says later on in the chapter, we'll go more in depth into that. But when she tells Deku, at least with All for One, we know where we stand. And I feel like that's such a powerful line and tells you everything that you need to know.
Very well said. I gotta give props on that. That was very true and well said. So, as always, we start to break down the chapter. How did you feel of the fight sequence of the first 3 to 4 pages of them fighting in midair, and how she did the quick scope or aka no scope him from the back with her elbow, because that was insane. Like it makes sense with her being a sniper, she could just snipe without her looking at times, and this was in close combat. They blurry, like I think probably a good 3-4 feet away.
Yeah, you can tell she's extremely skilled. And I loved watching Deku in these moments because Before, Deku was either hyper focused on trying to figure out what his enemy was doing and not being able to fully dodge and do everything that he needs to do. But now we're seeing him be more like Bakugo, where he's able to strategize while moving in midair and
Yes.
changing his strategy while he's in movement. So watching these improvements from Deku was awesome to see, and getting to see like what Nagant can really do with her sniper ability. I think it's dope, man. This was a really cool fight.
Sam?
Yeah, this was definitely a very cool fight mid-air. And while Deku was planning in his head, he's also trying to see where she's coming from, like a real hero. Well, technically, he didn't really say too much. All he just said, like, I mean, everything's obvious. Is the best way to handle a sniper is to literally get up close and fight you in person.
Oh, yeah.
Because like you need the distance for that. But she herself spilled a little bit of information. I've been trained by the Safety Commission. I know what I know, and like this is nothing. And the first thing she basically saying, like, you're being manipulated, you're being brainwashed from what you don't know, because like what my job used to be and what the Hero Society, what the Safety Commission has been doing this entire world, nothing. And yet Deku is trying to figure out, like, yeah, I don't know nothing. Just tell me what's been going on. Like, of course.
And she did. I didn't expect that.
No, I kind of expect that because she is a former hero, and I'm pretty sure she does have a conscience. Yeah, she killed a lot of villains and she's killed heroes, but I'm pretty sure like this was all about a capture sequence. It's not to kill Deku. This is it's to capture him, bring her to All For One. But might as well like keep the conversation going and talking where your ideals of a hero, of what you believe outside of everything, is just all like father. It's not all rainbows and sunshine. It's literally much darker than you think. And I know because my morals, my guilt, my everything is what's killing me inside. And it's why I'm so against the Hero Society today. It screwed her. It screwed her when she joined in, thinking she's believing that she was doing something for the greater good. But really, it was just using her to be a full-on hero assassin that's covering the entire light of this entire world. We already know the Safety Commission, all these people kill.
Yeah,
and sorry, go for it.
I was gonna say, well, like one of my favorite type of symbolism is to show in this page 8 and 9 is when the kids say, "Hey, lady, can we shake your hand for you guys sure as a special treat?" And her hands are clean, but her eyes, the way she sees her hands, they see her as dirty because she has done so much dirty work for the Public Safety Commission, where she wants to shake the hands of the kids. There's nothing wrong with that, but in her eyes, she feels like she doesn't want to get the kids' hands dirty because she sees the light and hope in them, but she sees that she's already in the dark side. And I find that so powerful because there's a lot of characters in most media that we have seen that, but to see like this where it's just so beautiful in My Hero, like that's what we say, like My Hero plays different route, and to see this in this character Lady Naga where she used to believe what she used to do was right, but to see in this panel, in this page, where on the right top side she was just killing somebody right now and everything, and she was just headshotting them, and then the next page the kids just want to shake her hands and she has her hands dirty. Like, that's fucking sad. Like, damn. Like, how did y'all feel about that?
Bringing back what James said earlier before with our government and stuff like that, like she literally had to do the same thing behind the scenes. Like, say an act of terrorism is happening and it's going against the heroes or the heroes that's trying to change sides or doing something for all wealth and fame and fortune, that have a great influence on us, doing all these side business. And you need people who are above the law and order. That's not good. You have someone with a high table going above this order, and meaning like it's not right. You are literally you being above the law and order and not doing everything by the books makes you a criminal. You are no better than like it's just you playing God and you nothing, controlling everything, being brainwashing the people in the public, and yet you don't care who will get their hands dirty. You want what you want because you're trying to brainwash society. You want to be in higher power. You want to play God. You want to be on top of it, while you have the Hero Society, the entire face, as a front, Safety Commission, in the back, shady business, do whatever, keep the flow going. Even for heroes that were just having second thoughts and thinking maybe this is not right, maybe we should just do something to change the system. Nope, you are categorized as a criminal, you are wanted, bam, that's it. No second thoughts, no change of mind, no nothing. And these are innocent. They're innocent. They haven't done any crime. Literally, this guy that got killed is like, we only just started talking about. We haven't really done anything.
Yeah.
Nope. That ideal that you have, can't have that. Boom.
James.
Yeah, dude. Like well said, bro. Like, I'm gonna bring it back to the Snowden comparison that I made, like, because me and I just recently like rewatched the Snowden movie with Joseph Gordon-Levitt. It's like when you realize like what the government is capable of that they just don't tell us, like much like Nagant, right? Like Snowden was a person since he was a kid, all he wanted to do was serve his country. He went into the military, had an injury, then decided to go into the CIA, NSA, into these private sectors. And then he realized that the NSA has the technology with 2 clicks of a button, bro, can log on to your camera and just see what you're doing. They can see all of your private text messages, all of your social media. They see everything. And he knows that this is wrong, which is why he became a whistleblower and he told the public what was really going on. And this is the parallels that I see with Nagant, right? Like what you brought up, Vash, with her seeing the blood on her hands. She see that everything that she does is dirty, even though this whole time she was leading herself to believe that she was being a hero and doing what was right. And I think it was in this moment is when it really, really clicked that no, I'm not a hero. The same blood on my hands is the same blood that villains have. How am I any different? And when she killed the president, I felt nothing, right? Same. Because yes, it was wrong. She should have turned him in. She should have revealed all of this information and turned him in. But I wasn't sad when she killed him because this shit is wrong, bro. Heroes should not be murdering other heroes, and heroes should also not be murdering other villains. They were assassinated, systematically assassinated. That's wrong. These people should be imprisoned. So this is why the Hero Society needs to be completely broken down. And it's why I'm okay with her being okay with All for One's plan. Because in her mind, again, like she says in this dialogue, at least with All for One, we know where we stand. At least there's no secrets. The public knows exactly what's going on.
Yes, and better than like having the whole president still trying to give her the whole schmuck about the whole, oh, it's all necessary. It's all to preserve hope and faith. It's all to help face heroes, to help build up. Literally giving her the same bullshit, giving her the runaround, even though she's trying to confront him. Like, is this really all necessary? What are we preserving really what's necessary? Like, just instead of even giving her a straight answer, like, you can't walk away from this. It's like,
but no, I love what she said. I love what she said right before that. She said, making people believe everything is puppies and rainbows, and him saying it's unnecessary. I'm like, no, it's not really unnecessary. She's like,
it's the same stuff. Oh, you're serving your country. You are protecting the welfare of what's good in this world and stuff like that in your own country and stuff. It's like, no, it's the same words of manipulations for anybody. And she's been holding on to that for years and also holding on to the guilt.
So
and the sham of it all.
I have a cool question because chat even brought up: will the deeds of the safety commission be leaked to the public? Do you think during this whole crisis or during this whole process?
I mean, like, they are shut down. Like they are temporarily shut down.
True, but what I'm asking, Sam, is like what Hawks went through, what Lady Nagant, and other stuff that we don't know yet. But the characters know. Do you think will be more public to the world to understand that things are more shady than what it is?
I'll say this. I'll be disappointed in Horikoshi if he doesn't.
Because we know, I feel like Hawks would use like, all right, this is like everything that comes with All for One, that's first right now, because that's actually the most greater threat. If I were to just expose the safety commission and whistleblower right now, it will cause more chaos and confusion, and whose side is really on who, and who can we really trust. It would bring down Hawk's credibility and trust of what the hero remaining that's still wanting to protect the world, to protecting Japan. You need to still continue that trust, but we have a greater threat, and that's All for One. Afterwards, after we handle that threat, then we will whistleblow everything of what's been going on in this entire world, because this is the start of how we reveal everything, reveal the secrets, reveal that the hero society is not what it's all about. It's not what it used to be. It's not what's going on, and all the dirty sheets of the safety commissions.
I would agree to what you were saying
Like,
much earlier as well, because Lady Nagant, I understand where she's coming from, because what James said, All for One, the way he's doing shit, definitely bad execution, but his motives got a point. We have said it before in a review discussion of My Hero and during Shonen Ronin, is that the heroes of society and everything has to fall and be rebuilt. The way All for One is doing it is more causing and killing and more dire shit going on in the whole Japan and everything. There's a better way to execute it, but Lady Naga, she believes in what she has gone through and what she has experienced, in the trauma that she has seen, the people that she has killed, that she felt like she has done more wrong than right. So her going with following All for One or doing this favor for All for One, she's like, okay, I've done worse shit and killed the people, and I was supposed to kill this man. And if he's telling me to do this, but he sees like he's gonna rebuild the world in a more better, but going through this round, like, okay, it's not that bad. So I understand where Lady Naga's coming from.
Safety Mission gave her illusions and fakes, while All for One gave her the truth and what we're supposed to do in the main plan. Honestly, that seems a lot much more better than what like society was back then. I love her entire monologue. This superpowered society is a gilded daydream through rose-colored glasses, but it's a paper-thin, fragile illusion. And then, like, say you bring back the status quo, history will just repeat itself, and like the public starts to stargaze at the bright and shiny side, but then the dark truth is someone is gonna gnaw at someone's backside. You are getting their hands dirty, and it's of course caused the trauma, caused the PTSD, and of course caused a traitor and more whistleblowers in the entire world.
And like you guys just said, right? Why would I don't even think Nagant even likes All for One. But if you have to choose between the two, at least here I have full transparency and I'm not being lied to every single day. Because these kids, they just see heroes. They just see people that protect other people. But that's not really what all heroes do. Some heroes, like her, murder people. They assassinate good people and bad people just to give this fake facade that everything's perfectly fine and that there are no issues. That's not the right thing to do. But
the whole house is on fire and you're just saying this is fine. Like, no. Like, it's just like,
it's okay. Yeah.
What's even worse is that she herself was a child when she was recruited, and Hawks, and we see from Hawks' backstory, he was a child when he was recruited.
Get him young,
what's to
perfectly
stop
molded.
the other kids to like be in the same position she's in? Like, that's no way to live. It's sick. It's horrible.
Yes, Cameron, I totally agree. My Hero does child soldiers really well. I don't know why, but if a shonen has a child soldiers in it, then I'm all for it. It's just My Hero. Hori has said it before. Like, he's a big fan of comics and he's a big fan of manga story, and he knows how to intertwine both storytelling in a well covert way. And I love it because like we see child soldiers like this, but in a way where they experience a backstory, and we care for this backstory, and we understand this backstory, and we could relate, we could understand, and we could be like, okay, they get a point, but they're doing it in the wrong. So like, I love how Hori is writing these characters so well. And we just met Lady Naga within the past 20 chapters or less. So I love how well he's doing such a good job with it.
Yeah, great writing with her character already. You know what I mean? Like, I instantly think she's one of the more interesting characters in My Hero. Like, instantly. Because for me, inside of the Hero Society and everything that's wrong with it, it's one of the more interesting things for me in why I like My Hero. Because like this kind of stuff and how Horikoshi's been writing it, it's like, yeah, it is. It's not all sunshines and rainbows, bro. Like there's wrong things in this world in the way that the leaders of our countries decide to make their decisions. It's like, yeah, we get to vote, but the people that have the final decision on who becomes president is not us.
And
You know
I
what I
love
mean? So it's like it's a false sense of you have input into the greater things that happen into the greater things that's happening, but you don't really. It's a false sense of security. And I love that Horikoshi is inputting that into his story.
And I love what Deku said right after that. He said, maybe I was ignorant, but I'm starting to see things clearly. It's now black and white. Most things in this world are in shades of gray, a blend of fear and anger.
Yep.
I love how within, like, when we met Deku when he was 14 2 years ago, and we met Deku as a character saying that all the heroes are so great and everything, and he had notes, he just saw them as, as just superheroes, but as some type of celebrities and everything. But now being a hero for the next 2 years, and now he has a better understanding of what it is. There's all shades of gray. Like it reminds me of the Dark Knight of Two-Face when he finally realized that there's a shade of gray when things was only black and white. Like I love this type of storytelling when when you see the hero, the protagonist, or the characters, there's more sides to a coin, and I love that.
I mean, yeah, like the thing is like how the world views heroes as they put them on pedestals, they put them as the top people to want to be the inspiration of what you want to be, but you don't know what they've gone through, what the secrets they have, how dirty their hands would be. If I were to give like say with DC and Justice League, nobody knew back then, nobody knew that their home base was a satellite. And this satellite can literally be its own weapon in case something were to happen. But then the moment when like the White House or Amanda Waller revealed like, you guys have a fucking satellite up in the air and you think it's like this, you guys are all full powered superheroes that can do whatever you want in this entire world. And you have a fucking satellite as a home base, literally see everything, and you hide that from the public. Are all like shady as hell, and like we don't feel secure. We don't feel any safety anymore. You gave civilians all this doubt where you guys have way too much power, and I don't feel safe anymore.
Sam, I am so glad that you brought that up. That is such an amazing parallel, dude. Because even the Justice League, it's like, you guys are wrong. There is no way that you should have had the Watchtower without telling the government. That was wrong in itself. You need to tell them about it, tell them about all of its weaponry, because Superman alone could subjugate the entire planet if he wanted to.
Hell yeah.
And you're telling me there's a team of superpowered beings with a satellite with a beam that can literally put a giant crater in the planet. They were wrong. They were extremely wrong. That's why they decided to completely tear it all down to the foundation and rebuild the Justice League to include a bunch of other heroes and normal people like Green Arrow and a bunch of other heroes, the Question, to keep them accountable, right? They had to tear everything down. And that's what I want My Hero to do. And that's what Horikoshi is doing. That's one of the more interesting things about My Hero for me. Acknowledging everything that's wrong with Hero Society, tearing it down, rebuilding it to actually create a better world for everyone where there's actual transparency.
Chat even said that I feel bad for the generation that's having the truth exposed. Sometimes the truth needs to be very far away. Yes and no, I agree with that.
But then again, like no, but like you can't hide the truth. And like if this generation is not ready to hear this kind of truth, what's to say their children's children are ready to hear about it? And what's even worse, you've kept this truth for so long that it makes things much worse for you into the future. Because if you kept this hidden truth, like there's probably a lot more secrets that you're hitting me, of course. You don't trust the people with that kind of power and all that knowledge and everything, because you gave them the upper hand. They will control you like sheep. Even if they were to tell you all the secrets, it's already too late. We gave them too much powers where we can just treat you as sheep, do whatever we want. If you want to try to rebel, we'll kill you. that's literally no different from any like tyranny government and higher ups.
I definitely agree with that. And there's another question saying, remember when Lex controlled the Watchtower and shut it down on Earth, and that was the fucking petty on him. There was also Justice
Justice
Lords.
Lords, yep.
Yes, we know about that, and but at the same time, like, for example, if people have not seen Justice League Unlimited, where in the alternate timeline in Earth 2 and everything, Wally died, Flash passed away, and then Superman killed Lex and everything, and there is a Justice Lord. But then in Earth 1, Lex knew about this, and then he joked around like, oh, I might just kill Wally, and you're just gonna kill me. There is a moment of control, but it just depends. Each character is different and they know the situation. And even Superman said, like, if it was me, I wish I was just a Lord because I would have killed you right now. But I'm not him. I will never be him. So there's a moment of morality of who you are and what is your limit. That's when you know what can you do with that. So like that's for example, I'm curious to know to transition to where my hero is. Curious to know what is the change of story pace is going to be next chapter because our boy Chisaki scream out and now Deku and Lady Naga just pause on their midway fight of what they were about both to do to each other. So I'm curious to know what is going to be changing the whole dynamic now with the next chapter because Chisaki with Deku just say, wait, that's Chisaki? So I'm curious to know about that. How did you feel about that, James?
I don't know what's gonna happen, right? I see Deku's reaction to this, and it's like, okay, I mean, he can't use his quirk, so it's not like he has to worry about fighting him, so he knows that part. So it's like, I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen with this. Like, why would Nagant care about the boss? You know, that's my question.
I mean, like we knew that Lady Naga was using Chisaki for whatever she feel like might be useful from him. I think at this moment, like heroes needs to save everybody, right? Your ideals where you need to protect not defenseless, which but and she doesn't hesitate when it comes to killing anyway. So if she were to point the gun towards Chisaki, she would know that Deku needs to go over there to either
But at
block
the
the
same
bullet or take the
time,
bullet for me.
she has a reason why she grabbed him. She didn't tell all for one, so like we know there's a reason for it. And like her face expression, Hori drew her in a way that she's shocked that he popped out and screamed, saying, "Hey, you done yet? Gotta get to the boss." Like her expression did not expect that, and she was in the midway to do something
Yeah,
crazy.
I guess
So
maybe
like,
it's because he hasn't said anything since the prison.
yeah, like he couldn't spoil. Like
Like,
he's been in that down, depressed mood. So like maybe she's shocked. Like, wait, why did this dude just speak now? I'm in the middle of a fight. So like maybe she's like in shock, or maybe she just got caught off guard.
You know what I'm
yeah,
thinking?
I'm sure she's just surprised.
There's a possibility that she was one of the reason why the mafia and the yakuzas has not been around as much. Maybe she was the reason why
Definitely.
she's taking it down. Because remember, she just said, or a team of heroes colluding with a gang of villains while gaining fame and fortune. I mean, that sounds kind of
1 trillion
mafia
percent, bro.
yakuza kind of situation.
That's
so
true.
why not better to take basically the son of a mob boss that you destroyed, basically, saying like, I guess I could use you as hostage or better or negotiate, or maybe I owe you one. Maybe this entire time, like I feel bad because of that stuff, and I kind of owe you one. And that's the reason why she's broken out of jail. Or
It
something.
could because
I would push towards the former. I think it's like, well, use him as leverage to get money, get like a new passport, get out of town, get out of Japan.
I also
But
like
then
where
again,
Sam
she
is
doesn't
going
know what
because
he
that'll be
did.
interesting because when you're a mafia or the yakuza, when you owe somebody a favor, it kind of is more in a respectable way. So maybe Lady Naga does owe the boss something, or maybe the boss owes her a favor, maybe because she didn't kill him back then or something. So it could go either way. It's a flip toss of who owes who a favor. Maybe that's why she also saved Chisaki, or maybe they have a connection that we don't know, us as the audience know yet. Because it's pretty interesting because even Deku is shocked about Chisaki. So I'm curious to know how's his interaction, because we did speak about this I think 2 or 3 weeks ago of how with Deku's probably going to be helping Chisaki and maybe have Eri give him back the arms. So it's pretty interesting about that too, because I'm curious to know if if that theory of ours would be coming true, because I know like that's a possibility where he's most likely will get his arms back as well.
Well, I don't want Deku to ask Eri to do it. I want Eri to make
Yeah,
the
of course.
decision
Want
to
Eri to do it
want
as
to
well.
do
Yeah.
it if she decides to do it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I think that would be great. That would be such an amazing hero moment for Eri. It's like, you know what? You hurt me, but I'm going to be better. Give him back his arms, put him back in prison, and get him rehabilitated. Whether it works or not, that's his business, right? But
Yeah.
as a hero, she should do what's right. And I think it would just be an amazing moment. If Horikoshi doesn't do it, it's fine, but I think it would be great.
Definitely for true that. And I see Kid or aka Snubs is here in the chat. Shout out to him. And he's also with us on the point of our Deku reshaping the whole hero society as he should. And I feel like I can't wait to see how the end of the series continues to reshape the story of the hero and the mindset of the people of how they see the heroes as not just celebrities but as also regular people who's just doing a job just to protect others, and that's it. They're just like a crime force, like a defense force, and that's it. Not just some celebrities and just getting a higher spotlight for no reason when they should just be treated as regular people. So I love that. Can't wait to see that because that's one thing I'm most excited for as a story perspective.
Yeah, like I'll be honest, dude. Like early on, like I can't remember the hero's name, but that one hero that just had like a bunch of different like celebrity appearances and interviews and photo shoots. I'm like, there's someone getting mugged in the streets right now. Like, what the F are you doing? Like,
Yep.
you should be on the streets like Batman on a rooftop looking for people that need help. This is bullshit. Like, you're not a hero. Like, this is not what being a hero is supposed to be. Like, all you do all day is do photo shoots and do interviews. And no, you're supposed to be on the streets helping people. This is why this entire society needs to be destroyed and rebuilt. And Deku is going to be the one to do it, and I can't wait.
Like I actually like now paying attention to the entire visuals of this entire chapter, the whole the monologue of Lady Nagant, all this everybody that she had to go through ends up in a direction. Last thing they see is literally the gauge of my gun, because they all got killed. There's also the visuals literally of the with Chisaki. It's to better knowledge what Kid or Snubs just said. Like, it's just to point out that overhaul is when like the Deku has his vivid dream. He wanted to understand the past enemies. Is a lot better to see if things have gone be different. If it was understood, maybe he would have not been where he is right now. And we already know that Muscular was just a straight up meathead. Yeah, we kind of knew about that.
That is a good point. That with Deku saying Abuchisaki, I'm curious to know how is he gonna be not fighting? How is he gonna be asking the questions like, "Hey, why did you do what you did before? Was there a reason?" Like, not that they cover like with Deku understanding that things are not black and white, there's a gray now. I'm happy. I'm excited to see how he's gonna confront things and have conversation with villains now instead of just like going straight forward and fighting everything and get things done. Also, the confrontational aspect of how he's gonna fight his villains, like also getting knowledge, getting information, like with him finding Lady Nagant, but at the same time getting information from her, asking her where's All for One, where is this, where the League of Villains. I'm really loving his strategy and his tactics a lot more. He's being more upfront about it, but smart about it at the same time.
I'm really liking Hirokoshi's point of writing too, because we know Hero Society is so bad, it's wrong, and we're getting a little bit in snippets. But Hirokoshi is actually giving us brick, literally giving us an entire stone wall that's gonna be on Deku's shoulders, because he has to be the one to be the bright light where to tell people we need to change, and this is why we're having child soldiers, we're having like mutiny, we have internal disputes, we have like hidden assassinations and discriminations and literally hiding vague delusions. Literally brick by brick, Hirokoshi is putting this all together to everything wrong of like the bad side, and now Deku has to be the one to change this, like break these bricks, break these walls, change everything. We need to build a better foundation of the new society, not hero society, a new society of what it needs to be now, without the secrets, without the like all the dirt sheet out in the open. What needs to be changed? A better way for everybody, both heroes and to changing of villains, to not be villains. Literally just give them an ear to listen, give them a better like understanding, give them some empathy, give them some sympathy. Don't make new villains. Change, like be better people in society and human beings. Like I like this. Hirokoshi's doing a very good job on detailing everything.
James?
Yeah, man. Like I love that the ranking system is going away. At least I
Fuck yeah.
hope it does,
It needs to.
because ranking people like this is wrong, right? Like as much as award shows are great and everything, it's all subjective based on popularity, right? And like all film is subjective. I think it's so hard to say like, oh, this was definitely, you know, the best picture of the year for everyone. You know what I mean? So it's like placing all of these different heroes into these different ranks. It needs to go away. Like all of these things give these heroes egos, all of the things that comes with it. It's like they're basically just celebrities. They might as well be movie stars, they might as well be musical artists, because they're not really heroes. They're just people that's in the limelight, that's doing everything else, except, you know, people like Endeavor and like the higher up heroes, right, that actually put in the work. And all of these other people that just became heroes just for that celebrity, just for the money and the clout, right? So I can't wait for it to be completely destroyed. And that's why Deku is going to become the greatest hero, because all of that stuff is going to go away, and Deku is going to be the symbol, the true symbol of hope, just like All Might was.
I
Ash,
definitely agree with that.
last word?
And no, I was gonna add to that. Sorry, I was responding because they asked us if we respect family, and I responded yes. Me and Sam does. And I can't wait for that. To see what they do with Deku with his character, and I can't wait to see how this arc going. Moving forward for next chapter, because it's like, how is this player in the chess piece right now with Chisaki revealing himself and talking to Lady Nagant and with Deku? How's it all gonna react? Like, I'm excited for it. Can't wait for chapter 315 next week, because there's no breaks right now. So I'm excited to see where is the turn tables with it next final week. So any last final thoughts, guys? Any last comments about this chapter, or do you think you have more to say?
I don't know. I'm just interested to see what's going to happen next, because I feel like this could potentially be a good transitioning point to like maybe, I don't know. See, I don't know. It could be a good transition point for something else, like someone else's backstory in between this fight, or like I don't know which way it's gonna go, but I'm just excited to see it. I don't really have any predictions or anything like that, but this chapter was good. The more that we talked about it is pretty much the more and more that I really enjoyed it. So yeah, ready for the next one.
Okay.
How I see it, like any go for any direction. I don't want to put any theories or ideas and stuff, because it could go from anywhere. Because it could go for Deku being a true hero, without it's not all. If he's saying that Lady Naka is here, it's just all brain mind control. You're ignorant and all that stuff. But literally, Deku's action is what's gonna help change her, or the true hero in her is what's gonna like prevent her from doing what she wants she's gonna be doing, like stopping her from kill. Like, because if she kills Chisaki, she literally has given up. But if she's just using that as a threat, or if Deku was the one that catches that bullet, or to save Chisaki, maybe there is hope in this world. Maybe this kid does knows what he's talking about. Maybe he is the real change. It's to really, for Deku, is to change the idea for everybody that's in this fight right now, not just with even though we only have it's Lady Nagant and Chisaki. If Deku can change and understand and sympathize with what Chisaki was going through when he was talking back then, Lady Nagant would see like, all right, there is some hope into this future. And like many people and many heroes, even All Might himself, I'll put my trust and my ideals into this boy. Show me the change, because I don't want to rinse and repeat of what we have back then. All right. But if she's gonna be treated as a criminal and be locked up like jailbreakers, I think it's better to have her as an asset than just have her contained and locked up again, that sort of situation. Which is why like we see her as like a whole Deadshot or Slade kind of character, because the heroes need help. The heroes need help, and like she's by paper she is a criminal, but then again, there's no more safety commission. Technically, there's no more hero society, and we are very unmanned. It's going to be a turning point for her where she does have to join Deku's side.
Well, I'm curious to know if that is Hawks and her me again. That's what I want to see, that conversation of those two. Since they used to work together, I want to see that. How would they interact with each other? And like, will they like do it like this? Or they'll be like stare at each other? Like, I'm curious to know how would they react. Like that's what I'm trying to imagine in my head. I'm like, I think
she would see him. I think she would see him as a hypocrite, because I'm sure Hawks has murdered people in the name of the safety commission
for sure,
and he's still operating as the number 2 hero, like it's all good and fine, right? And that's everything that she fought against. I mean, she murdered the president, right? So I think she'll see him as a hypocrite, and I think she'll try to kill him. But we'll see.
Cool. I think that's all our thoughts. You guys are gonna talk about Black Clover, correct?
Yep. Black Clover,
Yes,
chapter 294, as promised. So, Sam, excited to see you go. Can't wait for you to tune with us in Black Clover in a couple of months, couple of weeks, who knows when. But JJK, guys, will be tuning in next week. Chapters 151 next week for sure. We'll be covering JJK. Me and James will be catching up this week. I'm like 10, 15 chapters behind or so.
Guys,
I'm doing.
Yeah, I'm like 25.
Yeah, because right now, I'm currently rereading my Shibuya arc because I'm trying to have a full understanding of that, and then I'll be fully cut up to where I am now because I want to have a full understanding before we start reviewing. So definitely, me and Jess will be cut up for next week, chapter 151 for JJK. So Sam, nice to see you go. I'll be very sad about that. So Sam, take care, and guys, you can also find him at SamTheMangaMan.
Sayonara.
Chapter 294. Give me a second while I rearrange this because I did not know I had to rearrange this. I should have had it ready, but no. But Sam, James, in the meantime, what did you think of chapter 294 of Black Clover?
So I love this chapter. So I wasn't around when you guys reviewed 293. And because I was out on vacation for my friend's wedding. So I didn't read it until like earlier on this week. And man, these 2 chapters were so much fun. Like, I'm a huge fan of Magna. Like, I see him, like I said before, I see him much like Asta. He is the commoner that has been able to rise up the ranks into an amazing magic knight. Yes, Magna has had to work a lot harder because Asta has anti-magic, right? Like, Magna still has a very, very small amount of mana, but he's been able to accomplish and surpass every single goal that he needed to get to up to this point. And to watch him give Dante the work, bro, was so much fun to watch, man, because Dante has never been in a situation where he's had to fight without his magic, right? He's never been in that situation. So for his magic to be cut in half, he was using the same amount of mana, thinking that he was still at 100% when he only had half of that. So when he lost all of his magic, I loved it because he couldn't take any of Magna's punches. And I love that final panel of 293 where Magna's just screaming in his victory. It was such an amazing chapter, man. I absolutely loved it. And 294 was great, getting to see Asta, Luck, and Noct, and even Jack's reactions to Magna's victory. I absolutely love that, bro.
Jack was my favorite because he said something that's very interesting to hear. I'm a commoner. Even so, I was so strong. I worked my way up to captain. I won't lose to no booster rogues. They fuck them. And I got my own thing. I'll make my own brigade. He said I actually added commoners to my brigade. So that was his goal, to only add commoners. Beautiful reasoning. But when that nutcase, Yami, let a peasant into his, I thought he's got to be out of his skull. And then he was proud that you just showed me something real interesting. He was proud to see that another commoner like our boy Magna, a peasant, just like Asta, that he like that's why he sees Yami as his rival. That's why he don't see William. That's why he don't see any other Magic Knights because they're nobles and royals. That's why he only sees Yami as a rival because they're both outsiders. They're both commoners, but they're both
They
almost have the
truly earned
same.
it.
They truly earn it, and they have a similar brigade where they only like Yami accepts outsiders and people that are like the black sheep of each of their own people. Jack gets commoners, people that are there like just like him. So I love it that we get a little backstory of why Jack who he is and why he accepted the people who they are. So I love that small line, but I love that very much. So that really impacted me. Like, okay, Jack, I fuck with you for that reason. So that was dope.
Yeah, I love Jack. Like I always thought that his rivalry with Yami was all because of like, yeah, they're the only two that matter, right? Because when you're royalty, you're born with an abundance of mana,
Yeah.
right? You're automatically blessed with it. So for you to rise to the rank of captain, it means that you truly worked your ass off. And he also sees that Yami has this unique ability that no other captain has, except for like the Wizard King, but being able to see what people are truly capable of and what they will be capable of, right? I can't remember exactly what Yami says, but he tells Magna that, yeah, I just saw you as someone who had a lot of heart or some shit like
I
that.
think it was
I can't remember exactly
I,
what the line is. I
I
need to go
think
back.
it was the most gustiest. I think it was the most guts, right?
Yeah, someone that had like a lot of guts or something like that. And I just love those lines because he knew the type of person that Magna was, and he could tell that in the future it would give him the edge in a fight, bro. And you see it in
And
this
it
fight
did.
with Dante. It's amazing.
And then we got our man, not Morris. Damn, I keep forgetting the guy.
Morris.
Morris, thank you, James. Morris, we get him here, like looking mad evil, all those eyes and everything, and he's ready for the spell to activate it. He's like, damn, those devils just keep pouring out, and literally those devils do keep pouring out. Love designs. I can't see more of them. The one that got me interested is in page 4, the one that has the wings out, because that design looks interesting from the back, and I'm like, yo, I want to know more about you. So I'm like, that's pretty interesting. But the way he knows that Dante lost, and the line he says, I'd love to know what sort of spell they used to take him out, because he knew to take out Dante is very hard. So he knew that whoever took him out used an interesting and unique spell. So I love that. That's also giving props to Magna as well. That he didn't use a regular spell. He used trial and effort for that. So props to that as well.
Yeah, man, that was all great writing, and this all just further solidifies that Morris is actually like the real threat here, right? Like let's be honest.
Oh, definitely.
The Dark Triad is definitely dangerous, but Morris is the dangerous one. He has power and he has brains. He is the most dangerous one out of all of them. Without him, I don't think they would have been able to make this work. And I can't wait to see like what devil he has and the devil magic that he's using. That's going to be what I'm really interested in.
So the great thing about Morris that like, because you know how when there's a evil type organization, there's always the science guy that's there, but he's usually like the weakest one or like the third strongest or fifth strongest, right? Like for example, I love how Morris in this type of scenario, he's the science guy, he's a genius guy, but he looks like the most strongest guy because he's literally activating this whole spell and literally just chilling there and acting all evil boss and knows what's going on above and beyond as well. So it's like he knows the shit. He knows what's going on, but he's also smart and genius dude. So I love his character that he's not just a random smart dude, but also very father. So I love that he's also probably one of the strongest ones there. So I love how you brought that up because that's so freaking true.
Oh yeah, like that's just what I think. I think Morris is the most dangerous one that we have to worry about because again, not only does he has the brawn, he also has the brain. So it's like that's a very very dangerous person. Like just talking about Deku, like what makes him such a great hero is his ability to analyze and strategize along with his amazing strength and all of his other quirks, which is also what makes Bakugo interesting. Like he is the best tactician I think in My Hero, if I'm being perfectly honest, and only with age and experience will he become a better tactician. So Morris is the one I think we really have to worry about. But in page 6 and 7, everyone's celebrating, they're leaving, and then Dante rises up once again. I was like, here we go, the natural villain thing.
I wasn't shocked, but I love how Jack knew this. I love how next page is like, just what I expected from an almighty Dark Triad member. The speed of magic requires no joke. But I love what he said that, man, shut up. I don't hate Stormbringer guys, but that little insect one that don't go ring on his parade. I love that shit because he knew like, yo, I knew he was getting up. That's some type of shonen evil bad guy shit. But this little magnet, this little bug here just beat you and stuff. So I'm not gonna let you ruin his parade. Like, I really love that. Like, that's some dope shit that Jack respected the W on him. So he didn't want to ruin the W from him. He's gonna hear, yo, I'm here to finish that off for you. So I'm gonna take that L for him and everything. Like, so I love that. That was beautiful.
Yeah, dude. I love Jack's just acknowledgement, dude, because Jack couldn't beat Dante, Yami and Asta couldn't beat Dante together. Well, I mean, they did beat him, but they couldn't kill him, right?
Yeah.
But so that was really cool to watch him acknowledge that this commoner, this peasant, right, was able to defeat Dante with a superior spell. So that was really, really cool to watch. And I want to see, like, I think at this point, Jack is just gonna like one-shot Dante.
I hope
it's just gonna be done.
I hope we see that because we also have our boy Lucifer in there. So I'm curious that if Lucifer's gonna get out or be like, yo, boy, like you're trying to get too much that like this is too much for you. Let me take over your body and take over. So I'm curious to know if our boy Lucifer's gonna take over and be like, hey, yo, fuck this shit and everything. Because all we know is that in the next panel of page 9, it literally says slash, but it doesn't say finish shit. It doesn't take him out. So we know that Jack cut him up. We don't know if Jack killed him or nothing. We don't really have any concrete information if we know that if Jack killed him.
I hope it's a one shot. I really hope it's a one shot.
It would be dope if Jack literally did a one shot just to help Magna take that W. So it would be hella dope. But let's get into the last two things that happened. We know Lord Pachika.
Real quick. I did have a comment. So at this point, I don't think Lucifero would care to take over his body because he has his own body that he can now bring into the living world.
Yeah.
So I don't think he would care. I mean, if he does it, that would be cool. But if he, I mean, I don't think he has to. I think it would be cool either way. But
you're right.
But yeah, let's get into the fight with Vonica and Charlotte because I've been waiting to get back.
We have said that. I'm like, yo, like as much as I care about Yuno and our boy Zeno, I'm like, yo, I care about Bianca, Charlotte, and Real.
Yuno's gonna win. I don't care. I'm less interested.
But thing is, I feel like this fight, Bianca has 3 storylines plot going on. Charlotte and her curse magic, Lord Pachika and her curse, and also involves Noelle and her curse as well. But I'm curious to know if Gordon and his family is going to be involved as well, because this also involves Abamajikula. So I care about more Bianca story plot right now, more than Zeno and Yuno, because okay, cool. He took down some of the Golden Dawn. All right, cool. He killed good half of the squad. I'm like, all right, cool. But this Bianca and Majikula story is more interesting because he literally evolves. Because if you look at page 12 and 13, I did not expect Lord Pachika to use like a puppet right now. I'm like, okay, cool. She just became like a badass. Curious to see the fan art of this too, because
that was the first leak that I saw.
Oh, it was? The first leak I saw was when the one I saw was Zora and Magna having him on the arm, because it reminded me about Yami and Asta having him on the arm. So I'm like, oh, that's a beautiful parallel. So that's so cute and everything. But Lord Pachika there, I'm like, okay. She's strong as fuck and she has OD mana. So the next panel we see up above in page 13 is like, okay, yeah, fuck. Yeah, that's a lot of water. And Real, y'all better do something, because a lot of people love to talk shit on Real. So I'm like, yo, Real, you better do something here because we need some shit done.
Yeah, so I love that you brought this up, right? Like the story with Vonica and Megicula, these are the things that I am more interested in. Like you just said, because of Charlotte's curse, everything that's going on with Lolo Pechka and Noelle, like all of this cohesion is what I am more interested in.
Same.
Like we can get to Yuno and Xenon at the end. Like I don't give a shit. Like we can wait because we know that Yuno's gonna win and it's gonna be a really cool fight. But all of this, like, there's a lot of stuff that's going into this, and I don't think we need Gordon to be involved in this fight because Charlotte's already is already doing a lot to go against Vonica's curse magic, and really what they're fighting against is her blood magic. So it's like I
True.
don't know if we need Gordon. It would be
Maybe-
cool for him to have like a really OP moment.
Maybe Gordon will come out when they fight Magicula, not Bianca. That's what's most likely would be the case. Because
Maybe, yeah.
technically his family name used to serve Magicula, not Bianca. So you got a point there. So Gordon might not play a key moment now, but I hope he plays a key moment to take out the devil Magicula instead, or involving in that case. So that'd be pretty interesting, and I hope in that.
Yeah, man. Like my favorite part of this whole chapter is the final page. Like I don't want to skip too far ahead, but I'm just talking about my favorite moment. Noelle has become one of my favorite like female MCs in all of like anime and manga. Like she's like easily like top 10 for me. And I love Noelle, and she needs this moment, man. Like she needs this fight against Magicula and against Vanica to not only protect Lolopechka and everyone else, but to avenge her mother. And I can't wait for this. And I just love that the very last panel with Vanica just smiling because all she cares about is having a really good fight. But that was definitely my favorite thing. And watching it's Gaja, right?
Gaja, yep.
Watching Gaja show up, like, oh
so
man, that was
that's
awesome.
what I was excited for. No, I'm not. All right, cool. But I was excited for Gaja because lightning against water. Curious to know how that's gonna turn out because Gaja is a lightning type, and I'm happy that he's the one that said that he failed to protect the queen that he's supposed to protect. So he feels very down that he feels like he failed his job. So I'm curious to know how is he gonna feel like protecting, but also has to attack and save her at the same time. So I'm really curious on how's that going to turn out because those type of storylines always are very interesting. It's just curious to know how's it going to be handled. So I'm very happy for that. And Noel coming in saying, "Yo, I'm here as I promised." So curious. I love the panel, that double spread of showing Bianca's face, like, "Oh, bitch, what?" And then the next page, she's like, "Oh, excited, like, I'm excited you came back, bitch. We about to fight. Let's go." So I just love that expression in a double spread. How you have one expression here, she's like, "Oh well," and the next one she's all excited, like that nice transition of two different reactions of Bianca. Love it.
Yeah, dude, I absolutely loved it. But I love what Ashton just brought up, right? I'm glad Tabata gave Rill something to do.
Yeah.
So this is where I think this is their best chance to go up against Lolopechka's water magic.
Ooh,
because Rill can be able to use his paint magic to combat her water. So I feel like him and Gaja combined will be able to at least subdue Lolopechka until Noelle can defeat Vanica to undo the curse. So that's what I'm thinking is going to happen.
I feel like Rill will be a great supporting role right here in this fight. Like Charlotte and Noelle tag team against Bianca, and then Rill and Gaja against Brotakus. So I feel like that'll be a great duel against each of them. And I feel like Rill will have a nice comeback to go with Gaja, like you said, like paint magic with lightning magic. And it will be a great offensive defense because Rill will do the great type of defense, Gaja the offense, and Charlotte the defense right now since Noelle's more technically ready to fight. Since Charlotte has a lot of scratches and hurt from this blood magic that she just got in this other double spread. Beautiful double spread with page 14 to 15 because girl got just spiked in the arm and I think the two legs. And I'm like, damn, girl, you literally getting scratched up. Like, I get it. The Blue Rose is doing a great job to defend you, but at the same time, Noelle came here and it's going to be a great dual team. So I'm very excited for this as well because I can't wait to see the surpass the limit of how Noelle and Charlotte is going to work as a team up. Since Noelle works for Yami and Charlotte is in love with Yami and so this will be an interesting type of dynamic. And do you think Noelle's brother is going to show up as well? Or do you think that it's going to be only for Noelle?
I don't want him to, man. This needs to be Noelle. It has to be Noelle, and Noelle has to do the final blow. It has to be Noelle.
So I hope it's that, but I hope that Noelle's brother shows up at the end and sees what she did and kind of like what's the word not save their mother, but avenge their mother. Like avenge their mother's definitely because I feel like that'd be a great way to repent for their brothers, because you know how the brother had that part of the curse as well because he cannot speak about it. That's why he had to tell Dorothy. So I'm curious to know how Dorothy gonna be involved as well because she's also has in love with Noel's older brother. So like all these pieces, I'm excited for because this is all intertwining with Bianca slash Magicula all at the end. So this is what I've been waiting for. Like as much as Dante, Zeno, I care about Bianca in particular because they have more of the story weight. So much more story
Yeah,
threads
man.
are connecting to her where I want this to connect, and I hope Tabata does a good execution for it.
Yeah, man. This is all that I want to see. Like you already said, dude. Like there's so much history here between these characters, and like I was saying, like it has to be Noel who gives the final blow. And like you said, I hope Nozel shows up like right at the end. Is just like, yep. He just smiles and is like, thank you for avenging our mother. I think that would be an amazing moment. I want to know how Nero's gonna play into this because she should still like be around, right?
She might
Like
be
she was still with Noel, right?
I believe she went to
Where is Nero and Mimosa?
I believe Nero went downstairs to not Mars. Damn, I lost his name again. The science guy.
Morris.
Yeah, Morris. Nero went to Morris, and Mimosa probably
Okay.
went to
I
Asta
couldn't
to help
remember.
him to help them heal and everything. So I know Nero most likely is the most logical place, since she has sealing magic, so she's the best way to go to downstairs to where she's supposed to, because I feel like
Right,
that's the
right.
best route in the story. Mimosa with plant magic and everything, I feel like maybe she could help Charlotte as backup, so maybe she's behind Noel with that type of team up with Charlotte. That'd be curious to know. Maybe they work together, Charlotte and Mimosa. So that'd be pretty interesting as
And
well.
they could use her healing magic.
Yeah, because Charlotte needs it too.
Especially for Charlotte's. Yeah, yeah.
So it could go either way. Like these characters, like I get it when you write a big cast of Black Clover, My Hero, One Piece, and everything. It's hard to intertwine every character, but I hope Tabata has an idea where to place these characters when we get into more of the story right now within the next couple of chapters with Mijikula in this fight right now. So I'm very excited for it. Just hopefully it sticks the landing, and that's what my hope is.
Yeah, man. I really hope it does, and I think it will. I really think it will, because the story has been all over the place in a good way, but
Oh
it
yeah,
has to conclude really well. It really has to, and I think it will, man. I like, as much as I love Asta and I love these other characters like Noel and Magna, Zora, like I can't wait to see what Zora does next. I want
hell
to
yeah.
know how Magna helped him create new trap spells and different abilities and stuff. Like I really love all of these characters, man. Like I love Black Clover so much.
Definitely 100% agree. So James, you give your thoughts for Black Crow chapter 294?
Yeah, man, I'm ready for 295. I'm ready to see Noel beat the shit out of Vonica. Like I said before, Noel has become like top 10 female MCs. Like, love Noel.
100% agree. So, guys, thank you guys for watching, and hopefully, you guys were entertained by our Kaiju number 8 review, My Hero Academia review, and Black Clover as well. You'll catch us next week with Ray. Sam might not be here, but we will have all 4, because JJK will be on the list for chapter 151, and we are very excited to bring this review into the story, and hopefully, guys, give your likes, comment down below. Give us your theories and give us your ideas, what you guys thought about it. And join the Discord server as well. Subscribe, continue supporting us. Don't forget to check out the Careful Spoilers Villains show every Friday, and we review all comic book and discussions of Marvel MCUs, what we're doing right now. Definitely guys stay tuned. See you guys on the next one.